Good afternoon, everyone. If you're here to learn a little bit about ePortfolios with Google Sites, raise your hands. Some of you guys are just sitting in those seats, or lounging, I see. So you need to get up and move so other people can. I'm just kidding, I gotcha. My name is Ruben Hoffman. I am a teacher at West Hills High School. I teach sociology, which is an elective, and I also teach a geography technology class. So I use this stuff with students. You can find my site, rubenhoffman.com, right there. And I do a PD site, edtechpirates.com. And I'm also on Twitter, and I can put that up toward the end. How many of you guys are already using Google Sites? How many of you guys use it like personally? You have your own website in Google Sites. How many of you guys have students using Google Sites? But you don't? Why? You're looking at me with blank faces. Okay, how many of you guys are Google Apps for Education schools? Your students have Google Apps accounts for your school district. Perfect. Okay, big thing with Google Sites, of course, is access online. They can access it anywhere, so they can access it not just on that computer at your school. They can access it at home. They can access it anywhere on campus. These are huge things. So I always think anything Google, think about access online. Second thing, Google Sites brings everything together. So you can, and I'm going to kind of model this and show this as we go through, but you can pull everything that they're doing with their Google Apps account into their site. So you can put a document within their site. You can put a presentation within their site. Hey, if they upload a video into their Google Drive account, they can put that video on their site. So it's bringing everything together. Some of you guys look like you might be old enough to, you guys ever heard of the Wonder Twins? Wonder Twins, anybody? Are you kidding me? Super Friends? Okay, that's what I'm thinking about. Can somebody tell me what that means? Like Wonder Twins? Activate, yes, bringing them together, changing them form of, okay? But that's what Google Apps does, is it's going to pull everything into their site, and it really activates the site, making it very much a, if you would say, multimedia available website. A lot of people think that Google Sites is maybe not so pretty, okay? It doesn't look like all the beautiful sites that are out there. But when I think about it, I think about Google Sites being very functional. So when I think of a website, I think about function, not just what it appears to look like. So here are some examples of my students, and I think that actually these look kind of pretty. But these are student sites, and they're bringing things in. As you can see, this girl has brought in a presentation that she created into her Google site. Up there, a video. Over there, you can see that she has a drawing that she created. So you can pull these different things in from what they're creating into their site to create an ePortfolio. Okay? I'm going to continue on. Easy to use. This is she's now in 4th grade, but this is my daughter in 3rd grade, and she was able to make her own Google site. So elementary school students can make Google sites with a few basic, instructional pieces into it, but more or less you give them the opportunity, they're going to be able to go in and create a Google site. She is now in 4th grade, and she happens to be an entrepreneur, my daughter. Her name is Kaya. She has a duct tape designs business that she just created a month ago because she wanted to make some extra money. And she created a Google site. And as you guys can go through and you guys can see, she makes different types of duct tape things. Cell phone case, credit card holder. And she's created different links and puts pictures on those, all on a Google site. And then she's going to send this out to family members or classmates or whatever to see if they want to buy anything. And nobody's really taken that. Like, they don't want to pay all the money that she's going to charge for her duct tape designs, just grandmas and that kind of thing. But it's still kind of cool. I mean, we sat down and she said, I want to do this, Dad. And I said, well, I think you should create a site to display what you can create. And within about an hour and a half, she had created her Google site for her business. Here's a 9th grade portfolio. I teach what's called Global Studies, a geotech class. And you can see on here that my students have, on the tabs on the left-hand side, have different projects that they have done. And that's where we bring in all the great things that they've done throughout the year. And on each of those links would be the different projects, and like I said, pulling in things into their site. But the ninth graders, a little more beauty into their site and also functionality. Notice my class is the only one up there. Okay? Other teachers aren't using this at my school. My goal is to get students using this so that they can continue to use it throughout their educational career. Whether they do or not, they've gotten that experience. And I'll go through more of why I think Google Sites is important, regardless if they're going to continue to use it in other classes or not. 11th and 12th grade, student projects. This is also put in their ePortfolio. But collaborative projects, which I'll go into in just a few minutes from now. So going back to why ePortfolios. So we're talking about using Google Sites, very functional, access online, but a big thing for me is students don't know that they can create websites. They think that's only for people that are, outside their realm. So they always ask me, when I first sit down and I say, we're going to create a website, and they say, what? I can make a website? Well, yeah. We're just going to get into our Google accounts, go into sites, and start creating it. Big thing, for me at least, is I want to start showing students that they can share what they have done. Okay, here's a student of mine. She's a 12th grader. She came into my classroom with a poster board. That poster board is going to be thrown out, okay, as soon as, the teacher grades it. That teacher's going to toss it and throw it out, or she's going to get it back and she's going to go home and throw it out. Why is this not in her ePortfolio? Okay, she should have it in there, or a teacher should be using an ePortfolio to build that into there. I asked her if I could take the picture, and she said, how are you going to use it? I'm going to show everybody why you shouldn't be doing this, or at least take a picture of it and put it into your ePortfolio. Self-reflection. So that student could have made a drawing or taken a picture of her drawing and then put in a reflection with it. So here you have a drawing, and then down at the bottom you have a Google document where this student was reflecting on their drawing that they created. So built into this system could be a reflective piece. Here's what I've done, and this is what I think about it and what I thought about that assignment, and all kinds of self-reflection in this. Huge with me is the concept of branding and marketing. Okay, students, and I've gone to 2 different things about digital citizenship here at ISTE, and the concept of digital citizenship is so important. Most of our students are doing things online. They have no idea the consequence or the ramifications of those things. So when we think about marketing, okay, how are you marketing yourself? I teach 9th graders. In 2 years from the time I get them, they may be getting a job. This would be great for them to have a beautiful portfolio to be able to demonstrate what they've done, not only in my class, but in other classes. Maybe they're an athlete, maybe they're a musician, maybe they're a talented artist, maybe they're doing something outside of their of school that they could demonstrate in their ePortfolio. So I think this is huge. They're doing things on Facebook, Twitter, Vine, YouTube, Instagram, okay? But are those all positive things? Are those things that an employer is going to want to see? Is that going to show their skills? So I go into a lot with their portfolio as a marketing or branding piece, branding who they are. Sample ePortfolios. Afterward, if you guys want to look at this presentation after, I'll pull that up again. But each of these are links to different portfolios so you guys can gather a sense of what would go on to the different pages. So you can click those a little bit later. Collaborative presentations. So if you are not, forget the ePortfolio. I don't want to do an ePortfolio, okay? My students have a Google account, and what if we want them to just do one project? Should they do it in a PowerPoint or Google Slides? Should they do it in a website? What should they do? And I always recommend a website because it's not as linear, okay? You can go to different links and they can get to different pages that way. So this is an example of, in my sociology class, I do a culture assignment, subculture, counterculture. And so this group got together. They're able to go in and work on different parts of the site. So somebody's assigned to do this page or that page or whatever it might be. They can work on different portions of the site at the same time. Okay? So you can do it in small groups, collaborative presentations. You can do something where it's entire class. I'll assign, for example, this is I do gender stratification on my campus. And what we'll do is, with that, is that I'll put them into small groups, my sociology class, and they'll go out and they'll do different research on campus. And then I assign them a page where they're going to put their information and share their information. And I want to see if this is going to work. Maybe. Okay. And you can see here as we go through examples of they put in tables. So this was actually a Google form that they created, and they went out and did some surveys, and they were able to embed or insert the spreadsheet data and create a chart, and they put that on the site. Another example of a student survey, they took their Google form that they went out and they polled different students about things, and they were able to put the summary of results into their site. So these are all different pages, and again, my students, that class had access to this website, and then they were able to go in and edit their pages for the full presentation. Okay. Can I get back here? Large scale, like a large scale group. 1 minute, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Large scale group projects. A colleague of mine, he was able to do this across country. Using a Google site, they did an AP World History project where they basically reviewed all of world history with 3 different schools. So again, sharing the sites between different schools. I'm going to jump into, I'm not going to have time to create a site. I thought I would. But in creating a site, very easy. In your Google account, go to Sites. You just hit Create. Okay? Put in your site name, and now you have a site. It's that easy. I have some resources on my page here, and I'm going to pull up to the last page maybe, and you can take my information down and go to edtechpirates.com, and you'll find this presentation as well as others. And like I said, the resources are vital. A lot of screencasts, a lot of how-tos. Go in there and check that out.